Hello everyone, welcome to the This Week's channel. My name is Haawah with the segment The Weekly News Roundup. But before we forget, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and also share the video for more updates. Now to start with, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, defended the move to hold regional parliamentary sittings, insisting it will not put the taxpayers' money to waste. Plans to spend over 20 billion shillings for the regional parliamentary sitting have attracted criticism within and outside Parliament. However, Annette Amang said holding the regional parliamentary sittings is normal. She explained that Parliament is not just a building situated in Kampala, but can sit anywhere around the country with the proclamation of the Speaker as enshrined in the law. She said Gulu was selected for Parliament in memory of the late Olanya. The regional parliamentary sitting will be held in 4 traditional regions of northern, eastern, western and central Uganda, with the sitting commencing for the first time at Kaunda Playgrounds in Gulu City from 28 August to 30th August. The Speaker noted that the regional parliamentary sitting in Gulu City will come with added advantages in terms of boosting the economy, adding that key issues affecting the Greater North will be identified and given priority in budgeting. Meanwhile, despite a presidential directive to charge manufacturers $5 per unit of electricity consumed, Industrialists are advised to remain patient as the subsidy is still hindered by technical challenges years after the directive was issued. The directive, which is intended to reduce operational costs for manufacturers and processors to enhance competitiveness, aligns with the objectives of Uganda's Third National Development Plan 2020-2021 to 2024-2025. However, its implementation is still not on the horizon. While speaking to journalists after an inspection visit to the roofing steel manufacturing plant in Namamve, Matia Kasaija, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, explained that Uganda's electricity supply is primarily controlled by a private entity, complicating the implementation of certain programs. He mentioned that the government's planned takeover of the entire electricity distribution value chain would make it easier to implement such systems as the 5 US dollars cents per unit tariff. The government decided not to renew Meme's concessional agreement for electricity distribution in the country, meaning that starting from 31st March 2025, electricity distribution will be managed by the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company. Evelyn Anite, the State Minister for Finance in charge of investment and privatization, noted that noted some progress in extending the 5 US dollars cents per unit electricity rate to manufacturers. However, she pointed out that priority has been given to extra large-scale corporate organizations which currently benefit from this rate only during off-peak hours from midnight to 6 a.m. Anita explained that for manufacturers to benefit from the reduced power tariff, the Ministry of Finance must provide a subsidy or a gradual onboarding process must be followed. Away from that, the Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lizhong, said his country is to fund to the tune of 5 million US dollars, that is 18.5 billion shillings, the expansion and renovation of China-Uganda Friendship Hospital, Nagro. Speaking to senior editors from different media organizations at the Chinese embassy in Kampala, this Hong said this donation is one of the fruits of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. The ambassador said his government has been a pivot in assisting Uganda to find solutions in the healthy sector. He said China offered emergency medical aid by providing batches of anti-malaria drugs and COVID-19 vaccines during the pandemic to help Uganda contaminate the outbreak of diseases and eliminate some tropical diseases. Ambassador Liz Hong noted that China dispatches medical teams to Uganda every year who work together with Ugandan doctors in China-Uganda Friendship Hospital to perform thousands of surgeries and outpatient consultations. The ambassador also said investors from China and the Chinese state-owned companies have heavily invested in other different sectors of the Ugandan economy that have not only helped in socio-economic transformation but also created thousands of jobs. He added that China has also opened up its market to Ugandan agricultural products, many of whom can be exported tariff-free. He called upon Ugandan companies to use this opportunity to tap into the very big Chinese market. The ambassador said, unlike other international development partners, China's interventions are based on the needs of the country in question and are not imposed. Also, two Jinja city education officials were arrested for mismanagement of school grants and causing financial loss to the government. The officials, the acting city education officer Haruna Mulopa and the sports officer Sam Ngobi were arrested from their offices on Tuesday 20th. The city inspector of schools, Amina Mutesi, was summoned to appear alongside her colleagues on corruption-related charges. Their arrest follows complaints from school head teachers who petitioned the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, accusing the teachers of demanding kickbacks. In their petition, the head teachers intimated how money is irregularly deducted from their quarterly releases. A source within the Ginger City's Security Committee who spoke on condition of anonymity, said that the syndicated corruption in the education office is a result of weak supervision. He said that the anti-corruption unit arrested Mutesi, who was the then acting city education officer, over corruption-related charges early last year and was charged in at corruption court, but after releasing her on bail, prosecution of the case stalled. He says that for fear of legal action, the city clerk had no other option rather than to reinstate Mutesi back to her position. In another news story, the Uganda Red Cross Society emphasized the urgent need for enhanced psychological support for victims of the Chitezi landfill collapse. The disaster, which occurred on 10th August, resulted in 35 deaths, 28 people still missing, and 372 individuals displaced. These survivors are currently housed at the Chitezi Church of Uganda Primary School playground. According to the Uganda Red Cross, the emergency shelter hosts 372 people, including 134 women, 161 children, and 77 men. The increasing number of displaced individuals is exacerbating the already challenging situation, particularly concerning the availability of utilities. Communication and Relations Officer John Cliff Wamala highlighted the critical need for psychological support, especially for children. He said since most of these lost their loved ones and others lost properties, some have been threatening to end their lives, others, pregnant mothers, who need more support in terms of counseling, while children need special attention during this period. Dr. Ali Maleh, a specialist from the Uganda Counseling Association, warned that inadequate psychological support could lead to severe consequences, including an increased risk of suicide due to the overwhelming stress faced by the traumatized individuals in the camp. Away from that, one person died and two others were critically injured after a fuel tanker burst into flames. The accident occurred on Tuesday, 20th in Bugangiri Sub-County, Rukungiri District, along the Rukungiri-Kihihi-Kanong Road. The tanker, Mitsubishi Fuso registration number UAT055G, was heading to Kihihi town from Kampala to supply fuel to Starbucks Kihihi branch in Kanungo district. On reaching Bagahwe Trading Center in the Bugangiri sub-county, the driver failed to negotiate a corner. The truck lost control, rolled and burst into flames. Elmate, the Chigezi police spokesperson, said that the manager of Starbucks fuel station Kihihi branch, Abdullah Haman, aged 32, who was in the truck, was burnt to death. Mate also says that the driver, Crash Mayengo, aged 35, a resident of Marara City, and the turn boy, Brian Chipurimo, aged 27, a Kenyan national, were critically injured and rushed to Nyachibale Hospital in Rukungiri town and later referred to Mulago Hospital. Mate attributed this accident to overspeeding by the driver. And in our foreign news, police units around the world joined forces in a series of covert operations targeting one of West Africa's most feared criminal networks, the Black Axe. Operation Jackal III saw officers in body armor carry out raids in 21 countries between April and July this year, 2024. The mission, coordinated by global policing agency Interpol, led to the arrest of 300 people with links to Black Axe and other affiliated groups. Interpol called the operation a major blow to the Nigerian crime network, but one that its international reach and technological sophistication mean it remains a global threat. In one notorious example, Canadian authorities said they had busted a money laundering scheme linked to Black Axe worth more than $5 billion, that is 3.8 billion euros in 2017. Meanwhile, a bus carrying Pakistan pilgrims overturned in Iran, killing at least 28 passengers, Iranian state media reported. The crash happened on Tuesday, 20th night. The crash happened on Tuesday, 20th in the central Iranian province of Yazid and was due to a defective braking system, Reuters reported, citing a preliminary police investigation. Another 23 passengers were injured, 7 of them critically. The province's crisis management director told the state TV. The pilgrims were traveling from the Sindh province in Pakistan to Iraq's holy city of Karbala to commemorate one of the biggest events in Shia calendar. Some 53 people are believed to have been on the bus at the time of the crash, as reported by Pakistan's Dawn News, including pilgrims from Lakhana, Gottik, and cities in Sindh. 11 women and 17 men are among those who died in the crash, according to the crisis management director. Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari said he was mobilizing the foreign ministry to repatriate the bodies of those killed in the crash and provide aid to those injured. The former U.S. President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama have given impassioned endorsements of Kamala Harris on the second night of the Democratic National Convention. They urged voters to back a new chapter with her in back-to-back speeches that electrified the audience in a packed arena in Chicago. Both called on Democrats to get out and vote and said November's election was going to be very close. Polls suggest Harris has a slight lead on Donald Trump nationally, but the U.S. election will be decided in a handful of key swing states. In her speech, Michelle Obama mocked Donald Trump directly, asking if he knew he was running for a black job, referring to being president. The Republican candidate has come under fire for saying migrants are taking black jobs in the U.S. Meanwhile, protests outside the Israel consulate in Chicago turned tense, with scuffles breaking out as demonstrators marched towards police clad in riot gear. The four-day convention normally anoints Harris as the Democratic presidential contender. Donald Trump had his convention last month after surviving an assassination attempt. Also, a predator posing as a famous teenage YouTuber who blackmailed hundreds of girls around the globe into performing sex acts on camera was jailed for 16 years in Austria. Mohammed Zain Abidin Rashid pleaded guilty to 119 charges relating to 286 people from 20 countries, including the UK, the US, Japan, and France. Two-thirds of his victims were aged under 16. A Perth court had the 29-year-old coerced them into a cycle of increasingly extreme abuse by threatening to send explicit messages and images of them to their loved ones. Austrian authorities say it is one of the worst sextortion cases in history. When handing down her sentence on Tuesday, 27th, Judge Amanda Burroughs said Rashid's office was of such magnitude there was no comparable case in the country, according to the Austrian Broadcasting Corporation. Pretending to be a 15-year-old American internet star, Rashid would strike up a conversation with his targets before involving them in discussions about sexual fantasies. Thank you for viewing this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also comment on the video. I'm Haawah. Stay blessed.